Good morning. It's Monday. What's changed? What's new? Lots. One, I put a hair toner on yesterday. Cracking timing. Just as I was in between cleaning the bathroom and the upstairs. Mad cleaning session. I thought, you know what? That I do count that as me time, where everybody just gets out of my house and I can just clean. It didn't stay clean for long. In fact, after spaghetti bolognese last night, I could find spaghetti bolognese stains all over my white kitchen that I had spent hours cleaning. Anyway, there's a couple of things that I wanted to go through. One, putting the toner on the hair. It's like a semi-permanent colour. It's a little bit darker. I think I like it. I think I prefer it to the other one. It looks a bit crap at the moment because I've just trained and it just looks a bit pretty crappy. I've been out in the wind as well. Two things. So JJ had his football yesterday. That was a very windy match. They didn't win again. It's a shame because we took Marley, our lab, and he won. This was a couple of weeks ago. It's the first time the guys have won. And they were so happy. And it was almost like, wow, it's Marley, the mascot. So, of course, every single match now we've got to take the dog, which is totally fine. But the dog is bonkers. She, I swear, might be on the spectrum. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I love Marley. She's my Marley Moo. But she's just not all there. She really isn't. And yesterday, she, by accident, got out of Simon's grip right in the middle of the match, and the little one that had just scored for JJ's team unfortunately then got Marley Moo, who decided to leg it on the pitch and not attack him. She's not like that, but she was licking him a lot. Luckily, he's obviously familiar with dogs and he didn't freak out, because some of them can freak out. But as an absolute nut job, I was running across the pitch trying to grab hold of Marley like some crazy ass person. I'm thinking, God. There was a lot that happened. So obviously Boris has dropped the big bombshell that the gyms are closing. So everybody is freaked out about, they don't want to lose. I think for most of us, we get into a routine. I love a routine. I love a bit of structure. And then he's just gone and pissed all over it, really. But it doesn't mean that we can't get gains at home. I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute. For all my coffee lovers, I, on the weekend, ran out of coffee. I know, shock horror. And I just forgot to get it in the shop, which arrived yesterday as I put my hair toner on, by the way. The boys had gone off out, of course. And so I'm naked with hair toner on. I didn't have time to do it properly, so I'm surprised it came out as even as what it did. I had to run downstairs. I had to say to the guy, please just leave it on the doorstep. And then thankfully my hair didn't fall out. But anyway, I couldn't find any coffee. I think it was Saturday morning. So I went through my coffee cupboard in despair to try and find some caffeine. I'm like, I've got to have a coffee. And I found my old beanie sticks. Now, there was only 2 left, so I had 2 sachets. But then I ordered some from Amazon. And no, I'm not an affiliate with them or anything silly. I wish. It's called Beanies. And you've probably heard of it. But they do these cool little, they're called Stick Stash, right? And you get all these different flavours. So you've got cookie dough, coconut delight, very vanilla. They haven't shuffled them very well. Double chocolate. You've got Irish cream, it's a good one. Do you like an Irish cream? You have things like gingerbread. I'm not too sure if I like that one. Cinnamon, hazelnut. There was amaretto, I think. Something like that. Anyway, these sticks, oh my God, they taste. I forgot how good they taste. It was my old running buddy that got me into beanies. She was like, oh, have you heard of this coffee brand called Beanies? I'm like, no. Got to get me some of that. I am a coffee whore. And on top of that, I got some of this Walden Farms Mocha Coffee Creamer. Oh my God. I love it. I mean, some don't like it too sweet. Oh, I've got a real sweet tooth and I love this stuff. Again, don't get it on Amazon. It's far too expensive. I think there's a fitness site called Dolphin Fitness that you can get that from, and it's actually it's a lot cheaper. Anywho, now about my coffee plug. Just smash that back up. Stick Stash. It comes in a cool little box. Look, it's got loads of little... Anyway, enough about that. So, gyms. It is crap, and we're all in a little bit of a crazy funk at the moment. We've got until Thursday to get as many gains in as possible. Do not go out now and be like, right, I've got to get every session in 3-4 days, because you'll just do yourself a kipper and then you'll put yourself out. Just no point. Well, don't you just hate it when a hair is hanging off your arm and you can't get it? But you know, oh, I got it. It must have fallen. Anyway, so it takes 2 months. That's right. 2 whole months of somebody still walking or running or cycling or doing some kind of activity. As long as you're getting up and you're getting dressed, you're using your body as muscular functions. So, no, you don't have to be squatting with a barbell, deadlifting with a barbell, you know, pouncing on all the heavy dumbbells and really lifting them loads to get any kind of muscle stimulation. Simply doing a few trigger sessions, half an hour with resistance bands is enough twice a week to actually maintain your current muscle mass. If you've spent, let's say, the last few months of sticking to a proper structured program where you've been gaining muscle, you've been losing body fat, you've been seeing results, you've been seeing striations in your shoulders, in your biceps, etc., etc. Trust me when I say it will take a long time for you to lose that muscle mass. Now, surefire ways that you could lose it. 1, you stop eating as much. In particular, protein. We go, oh my God, I can't train as hard because I'm at home, so I'm just going to cut my calories. Big mistake, because all you're going to do is you're going to lose that muscle mass rapidly. What you want to try and do, we've got 4 weeks until potentially the gyms are going to be open again. All right, in some areas they might do a tier system where we might not be like catching up with one another, but sure as hell, it's going to be, 4, 5, 6 weeks for some of us until we can get into them gyms and start getting to lift the weights again. So whilst we're at home, grab yourself some bands. They're like 30, 40 quid on Amazon. You know, them, I forgot what the brand's called. Is it Tomoshu or whatever? But anyway, pull up resistance bands. Pull up assistant resistance bands. If you type in on Amazon, pull up resistance band set, you will see the red, the green, the purple, the black ones that I've got. There's another 5-pack set which has got like a yellow one, which is even lighter than the red one. Just do a few band workouts. It will be enough. Even if you did half an hour a day with bands, it would be enough to maintain your current muscle mass. The only thing you're going to lose is a bit of strength. Now, contrary to what people say, yes, strength is muscle, it is, but strength doesn't, just because you lose strength doesn't mean you've lost muscle mass. It's very, very hard to lose muscle mass unless you're doing a few things. 1, your sleep is shit. 2, you're stressed. And 3, you stop eating enough protein. So you slash your calories. You go into like a calorie deficit. You think you're losing all this weight when actually what you're doing is you're losing significant muscle mass. Worst thing you can do. So what are we going to do, guys? We're going to keep our protein nice and high. We're going to get our bands and we're going to do a few band workouts. If you're lucky enough to have a barbell, dumbbells, or TRX suspension trainer, a stability ball or a Swiss ball, these are fantastic to build muscle with. You do a decline push-up on a Swiss ball, I'm telling you, you'll feel it the next day. Just because you're not sitting there on a weight bench with a couple of dumbbells that you're flicking up to do your incline, chest press, makes no difference. Your boobs have no idea whether or not you're lifting a dumbbell or whether or not you're stretching a bloody band. I love the resistant bands because their strength curve is the complete opposite to a dumbbell. The movement pattern is totally different. They mimic what we would do on a cable pulley machine, for example. So if you guys are familiar with doing exercises on cable pulley machines, like your face pulls, like your lat pull downs, like your seated cable rows, your ab crunches, your side Egyptian lateral raises, your Jesus Christ lat pull downs, your Moa. I mean, I could reel off so many, it's embarrassing. So what have you just got to do? You've just got to, unfortunately, push yourself that much harder. Because when you're at home and, you know, you're not in your gym with your vibe, with your music blaring and everything's in your zone. Yes, you're out of the house. Maybe you've got kids running around, or you're living with your parents and it's near on impossible to get your own space because people are coming and going. You just got to make it work. It's a few weeks. We've been here. We've done it for a lot longer. We did freak out, but then we got the used of it, and most of us made some great gains at home. Why? Because we decided to look at our health. We decided to say, right, well, just because I'm home doesn't mean I have to snack like an absolute beast. I'm just going to eat normally, prepare my food as normal, and make sure that I'm drinking enough, that I'm getting enough sleep, because not getting enough sleep will make you more hungry. Fact. Of days when I've worked too hard and I've had to do early starts, my God, I mean, guys, when I say I'm looking fluffy, I know I'm trying to main gain, but a lot of that comes down to my sleep as well. Yes, I go to bed early and I'm trying to get my sleep in, but believe me, if you have a shit night's sleep, you will be hungry the next day, 100%. Your ghrelin, I probably pronounced that wrong, your ghrelin, we'll call it your G hormone. Your G hormone goes mental when you haven't got enough sleep. Absolutely crazy. Honestly, one poor night's sleep, you start sleeping better, you're less hungry, your leptin levels are better, means you burn more fat. And even though you might not be doing as much, as say you go to the gym and you do 5 minutes on the rower, then you do all your priming, then you go in and you do your heavy barbell back squats. Trust me when I say doing single leg box squats, doing things like wall sits, using the band for them quad killers. My God, the burn is insane. As long as you're still getting that feeling in the body that you know you've worked it to almost 1 or 2 reps shy of failure, then believe me, my friends, you will still make gains at home. I promise you. Now, I'm going to end this today with a little bit about me, because we all know that we all have that little down dip where we're just an absolute miserable bitch from hell and everything is an emotional wreck. Well, I had mine on Saturday. But the good thing is I wasn't actually horrible. I wasn't hangry. I wasn't mentally mood swingy or disturbed. And I think it's because I am eating a lot more food. I'm not suggesting that I'm eating like an animal, because I don't. I eat well, guys. I give myself my treats. I eat well 90% of the time, and that is the key. 90% of my foods are whole foods. I cook, prepare myself, and they're good food. 10% is shit. And that 10% is allowed to be shit, because otherwise what is life about? Now, I had a mental breakdown on Saturday. I got up, I was training, I felt good, and then I just went, woo! And honestly, I was like in absolute... Well, let's just say this. The weather was piss poor outside. So I went to go and do my walk in the piss down rain, and it was just horrendous. I was crying. I come back. I was like, "Woo." And hubby was like, come here, Em. Initially, he gets a bit angry with me. He's like, come on, what's the matter with you? And they get all defensive, or he does anyway. And then he kind of calms down and he's like, oh, Em, come here. And I was just, I just need a cuddle. I was in a right mess. So we ended up not going out, which I was really sad about, actually, because I know JJ was really looking forward to going to Nando's. Simon ended up going and getting a takeaway Nando's, believe it or not. And you know what? By the time he got back with that food and I ate, I was like a different person. So they say she just needed a Snickers to be her normal self. Well, that was me on Saturday. I was just a beast. And then I was okay. And then do you know what? The little dip just came and went. And then I woke up, I was fine on Sunday, maybe still a little bit emotional because I was tired, but for the most I was cool. That never happens to me. just goes to show you that sometimes when you do give your body that break and you do start eating more, how much your hormones can come up, how it can affect your mood. It's all right wanting to be ripped all year round, but if you've got no sex drive and you're a moody fuck, then what's the point? Anyway, leave it on that note. Have a good day.